This week, how a proposed tax change could supercharge the HECM for purchase, put six figures back in your borrower's pocket, and transform the housing market. We'll have more right after this short message.
Liberty Reverse wants to help you grow your reverse mortgage business with our proprietary Equity IQ product suite. Equity IQ gives your borrowers access to more funds, lowers their upfront costs, and expands eligibility for home purchases. Learn more at partners.libertyreversemortgage.com today. This ad is intended for mortgage professionals only and is not a consumer solicitation. PHH Mortgage, doing business as Liberty Reverse Mortgage, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2726.
Welcome to the Industry Leader Update. I'm Shannon Hicks. Today we're going to take a closer look at a piece of legislation that, if passed, would make a major impact on the lives of future reverse mortgage borrowers, home sellers, and especially those using the HECM for purchase. Conservative firebrand Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has introduced what she is calling the No Tax on Home Sales Act. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. If this bill does become law, it would eliminate the federal capital gains tax on the sale of a primary residence. And this would be a sea change in real estate. But before we continue, I want to thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps our channel. And please consider subscribing. That way you never miss our latest episodes. And also subscribe to HECMworld.com for all of the latest reverse mortgage commentary and analysis. So let's break it down. Today, homeowners can exclude up to $250,000 in gains from capital gains taxes if they're single, or up to $500,000 if they're married, when they sell their primary residence. However, the existing exclusions are increasing American homeowners' tax burdens because they have not been updated since 1997, a topic we covered in February on this show. Now, in the decades since, home values in many regions, especially in states like California, Colorado, and Washington, have far surpassed those thresholds. And as a result, many homeowners are finding themselves hit with unexpected capital gains tax bills when they do decide to sell. Greene's bill, if passed, would change that. It would completely eliminate the federal capital gains tax on any gain from the sale of a primary residence. No cap, no ceiling. However, it is important to note that this applies only to primary residences. It doesn't apply to second homes, flips, or investment properties. Now, here's why this matters to us in the reverse mortgage space. For older homeowners looking to right-size into a home that's better suited for retirement, the HECM for Purchase program, as you know, offers a unique opportunity. It allows them to use a reverse mortgage to buy a new home with no mandatory monthly mortgage payments. They simply make a sizable down payment and then finance the rest with a home equity conversion mortgage. But here's the rub for older homeowners, especially in states with high home values. Any gains that exceed their exclusion will be eating into their future down payment or the cash nest egg that they would have kept. And that means less buying power, and in some cases, making it impossible to buy the home that they really wanted. Capital gains taxes may also reduce their liquid savings, which instead may be allocated to the required down payment. For example, let's say a 72-year-old widow in California sells the home that she's lived in for 35 years. Now let's take a moment to look what a capital gains tax bill might look like today for her as a HECM for Purchase client. Let's say that she bought her home in the early 1980s for around $200,000. And today, thanks to decades of appreciation, she's selling that home for $800,000. That's a gain of $600,000. Now, to keep things simple, we're not going to factor in any capital improvements. But under the current tax law, she can exclude $250,000 of that gain because it's her primary residence. But the remaining $350,000, that's taxable. And here's what that tax bill could look like. First, there's the federal long-term capital gains tax, and that's 15% for most people in her income bracket. On a $350,000 gain, that comes out to $52,500, but we're not done. Because her income likely pushes her over the IRS threshold, she also gets hit with the net investment income tax, an additional 3.8%. That adds another $13,300. And then there's California state income tax on capital gains. Unlike the federal system, California doesn't offer a reduced rate for capital gains. It just treats it as regular income. So at an estimated effective rate of 9.3%, she's paying another $32,550. And this widow is now facing a tax bill of nearly $100,000 just for selling her home. That's $100,000 that she can't use toward her next home purchase. That's $100,000 that she won't be applying as a down payment on her HECM for purchase loan. That's $100,000 in lost financial liquidity. Now, if Green's No Tax on Home Sales Act were to pass, that entire $600,000 gain would be tax-free. She'd keep every penny. No IRS, no state tax, no investment surtax. And that could make all the difference when it comes to buying her next home and funding her next chapter. It also removes tax concerns from the equation of relocating. Now, should the bill pass, she wouldn't have to worry about how much of her equity that Uncle Sam is going to take. And consequently, older homeowners may feel a little bit more comfortable about making that move into a home that would better suit their needs as they age in place. And also from a big picture perspective, this bill would help unlock housing inventory. One of the biggest challenges that we face today is that older homeowners are staying put longer, more than they used to. Many, they don't want to sell because of the capital gains hit that they would take on their longtime family home. But if you remove that penalty, more homes could be coming to market, easing inventory constraints across the board. Now, to be clear, this bill is not law yet. It's a proposal. It would need to make its way through both chambers of Congress and also be signed by the president. And yes, it's likely to face opposition, especially from those that are concerned about the federal budget impact or the deficit, or feel that it disproportionately benefits wealthier homeowners. But for reverse mortgage professionals, you watching, this is one to keep an eye on, because if passed, it could directly benefit the HECM for purchase borrower, making our planning and our conversations a little simpler and open the door to more seniors confidently moving into the next chapter of retirement. So what are your thoughts? We'd like to hear from you about this bill. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and if you found value in today's episode, please consider sharing it with others on your LinkedIn network. As I mentioned earlier, we have a YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. And each and every week, we curate the most relevant and interesting reverse mortgage news in our weekly podcast. That's HECM World Weekly. We have both an audio and a video edition. Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to return next week for more reverse mortgage news, commentary, and analysis you'll only find right here at HECM World. Have a great week.